Le café, c'est l'assiette économique des gens de Dondon. C'est-à-dire, quel que soit leur projet, ils attendent la récolte du café, soit pour payer une dette, ou bien faire le mariage de leurs enfants. Ils attendent que la récolte du café pour le faire. Dans le temps, il y avait beaucoup de café, parce qu'il y avait près de 4 usines, c'est-à-dire des exportateurs traditionnels qui achetaient du café ici. Mais avec le temps, ça a baissé sérieusement. Dedans, on produisait mieux que 15 conteneurs de café par récolte. Maintenant, ça a réduit un petit peu à 3 conteneurs pour le moment, parce qu'il y a 3 coopératives au Dondon, et il y a des particuliers aussi qui achètent du café. Nous exportons entre 1 et 2 conteneurs par année, parce que ma coopérative achète 65% de la production locale.
Passez vite, passez pour nous passer. C'est là la porte passer.
As you travel from Haiti to the Dominican Republic or vice versa, you're going to see an enormous change across that border. For example, there's going to be trees on the Dominican side, and it's desolate, almost like Nevada on the Haitian side. Red dirt as far as you can see with mountains, scarcity of trees, a lot more poverty, and roads are almost non-existent. There are so many different factors that have caused Haiti to not be able to develop in the same way as the Dominican Republic due to a dictatorship that has gone on for generations. During the reign of those dictators, a lot of trade that could have been increasing ended up becoming almost nothing. Every time there's a natural disaster that takes place in Haiti, you see countries like the US, France, Britain importing things to Haiti in order to feed people. This immediately is a great thing because people are starving, but the problem is when stuff like that continues for years to come, we're actually decreasing employment there by continuing to feed people. Let's say right now, 5 years after the earthquake, actually it's been 6 or 7 years from the earthquake, but by continuing to import things like rice and chicken in order to feed people while they are growing things there like rice and raising chickens, what we're causing is rice farmers and people who raise and sell chicken to not have any type of chance to be employed. They can't compete with free product. Unless it's in the case of an emergency, like a tsunami, like an earthquake, where emergency goods are needed immediately, the best way to help is to increase opportunity. Especially when what you're trying to solve is lack of opportunity in the first place. My name is Joey Stazzone, and I am the chief coffee hunter and owner of Cafe Kreyol. We started it in order to create sustainable employment in Haiti using specialty grade and organic coffee. We take people down to the Dominican and Haiti every year, or other origins, but we prefer Haiti and the Dominican Republic because they're able to see such a spectrum of how two different countries so close together live in such different ways, produce such exceptional coffee in two different ways, and it's really a great educational experience for them.
I chose to go down to Haiti to learn firsthand from the farmers who are invested in the sustainable coffee farming as well as direct trade with Cafe Kreyol, and learn from the team themselves there and bring that back to my service experience here at Glenn's Garden Market as a barista.
Bon, nous sommes gagner 3 hectares là, mais malheureusement nous ne pouvons pas faire le tour parce que
Well, fortunately we cannot make it all today because
la pluie, il y a la boue. Bon. C'est peu de ça que machine là, qui rentre dans le gros caille là, c'est l'île retirée.
Yeah, the big machine you see in the big building, they take this
machine à
down,
retirer et puis grain ça yo aller dans
and this
fermentation.
one go in the fermentation.
So Mr. Dubois is the president of Kupak Vod. He's actually one of the founders as well. It's the oldest functioning cooperative in Haiti. When we arrived 5 years ago, this cooperative was selling coffee locally, and it was doing okay for a business in Haiti. Not making a ton, but it was surviving. We were able to increase their quality to an exportable level, and Mr. Dubois has really been instrumental in increasing that quality and going through seminars with the sorters on defects, on specialty grade coffee, on primary and secondary defects. He manages the wash station and the dry process. Being an ex-physics professor, has designed the water flow from the wash station to go back into the river and be filtered several times first in order to not bring acidity and pollution back into the river in Haiti. Mr. Dubois manages roughly 900 farmers at that cooperative and about 80 other people who just work to make the processing center functional.
Son travail qui est très fastidieux, qui est très dur, parce que ils ont trieuse pour près de une semaine puis trier un sac.
A lot of people are very familiar with fair trade coffee. So fair trade would be a payment for the cooperative or the producer based on the New York stock market value for coffee. And the New York stock market value has been fluctuating lately, but it's roughly at about $1.45 a pound. Even when you add your fair trade premiums to that, you're looking at, for organic, which is the highest paid, you're looking at about $1.90 a pound. This doesn't recognize things like coffee varietals, and a coffee varietal is a type of Arabica, and there are about 60 of them out there. Each of these coffee varietals produce different amounts and have different flavor profiles, so they're in different demands. So to not recognize those varietals and just say coffee is coffee, we don't believe makes a lot of sense. And that's why we've chosen to use a direct trade business model. Consequently, our farmers in Haiti, for example, as well as every other country working in, are making roughly about 300% more than fair trade. And that's not charity. We're doing this because the coffee is worth more, and so they're getting paid more.
Nan tan lontan nou pat gen coopérative, c'était glace nou te gen. Grand glace nan la kou, toute la kou te cimenté pour te chercher café. Ebe nou te gen an pile gros panyen bambou qui fait avec gros panyen qui fait avec bambou pour te mettre café. Et puis le café sèche, nous fait gros combit en pile moun pour piler café. N'a chanter, n'a piler, n'a manger.
In the Dominican Republic, they have much more technology, and we just recently took a trip down there where people were able to see beans being sorted with lasers on machines that will select black or brown beans or chipped beans, and they will automatically go off to the side, and then that minimizes the amount that people actually have to hand sort.
Here is the classification area. Here we classify by size, by weight, and here by color. Those electronic machines, the light that we can see the different colors of the coffee, and they shoot air, and they separate the black beans, black, white, red beans, and the green color.
What drew us to working with the Ramirez family is that they're not only have exceptional coffee, but they're very socially responsible people. He's also very environmentally conscious. They use all the coffee fruit that comes off of their trees, and they ferment it and use the gases that come off of it in order to power their entire facility at some points in the year.
Here, when we get the farm, the last owner, when they cut all the tree, there is a small spring water that was died by that year. 10 years later, when we receive the farm, now we have a lot of spring water inside of the farm that you will see tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I think the customers and ourselves even get a much higher appreciation for the farmers and the amount of work that goes into the beans that are grown. On this end, for the consumer or even us, the roaster, all we really see is a bag full of beans, be they roasted or green. When you go to the farms, you see how challenging it is to even make it to the coffee plants, let alone pick the beans and process the cherries. It takes several weeks, and it's very painstaking to sort through all of them and take out any bad beans that may be present. It's truly a gigantic undertaking for the farmers.
Et Dondon remen, même si ou a tempérament nous qui comme ça, mais Dondon remen nous en pile.
Even you can see my characters like it, but Dondon loves you a lot.
Merci en pile, pas Haïtien comme blanc.
I'm not Haitian, no, but I'm white people.
Merci en pile, merci en pile. Allez, bonne journée. Bonne journée, c'est de bonne journée.